This is the School Plus from Faber Castell. It's a budget end fountain pen and is ideal for kids just getting used to holding a fountain pen and using a fountain pen for the first time, and also looking to improve on their handwriting. It comes in a variety of colours. This one here is the red version. It also comes in blue and black, but where I sourced this from just the other day, this one only came in red and black, so I opted to get the red version here. So here it is in its packaging. It is the School Plus fountain pen designed for left and right-handed people. It is a stable fountain pen and also comes with a free pack of 6 standard cartridges here, this one being the royal blue. When I looked at the black version of this yesterday as well, it also came with the blue cartridges. But if you go online, you can also buy these in black and other colours too as well. Just to point out, you can use standard cartridges in this one here, or converters if you like. However, I do just recommend using just the standard cartridges, which you can buy from any stationers there. So let's get this open here. This incidentally cost me around £7, £7 British, and I've seen some great reviews on this one actually. And let me just get the cartridges out here. Now I've got a variety of colours in these standard cartridges, so I can expect to use any blue, black or red or green that I've got lying in my cupboard there. So this is the Faber Castell's Royal Blue erasable ink. Gets 6 cartridges included here. I'm not too sure what they mean by erasable. It's not erasable in the fact that you write on the paper and then you can rub it out with a bit of friction like you can with the Pilot friction pens. No. That's more probably to do with the fact that maybe if you get it wet, then it will erase itself from the paper. I don't know. But anyhow, here it is. So we just put those to one side. That's the blue inks there. So here we have the pen. It is, of course, plastic. And, you know, I will say for a budget pen, just on first fill, it feels really good to hold. And, you know, for a budget pen, it doesn't feel very budgety. It feels like a fountain pen somewhere within the, you know, the £10 to £20 range. Especially if I compare it against my Jinhao 82, which cost me somewhere in the same price range there. This Jinhao 82 feels more like a fountain pen because it's got the hard plastic there. So looking at the nib, we have a bendy shaped nib on this one here, so I'm looking forward to, you know, getting the ink in here and seeing how it feels. It is a medium nib. It's a medium steel nib. These ones aren't interchangeable, unfortunately, so you can't therefore swap it over for a fine or an extra fine or a broad nib, so you have to stick with this one here. But that's to be expected for any fountain pen in this range here. It's got a rubberized grip. You can actually feel that, and I will say, if a child gets their hands on this one, that they are going to love feeling this one. My fingers actually rest quite nicely on these here. I've got the firm grip with my thumb and my finger, and my middle finger is just resting there. So when I come to write, I know I'm going to get a nice ink flow from this one. So the case, let's just listen. Yeah, it's quite a hard click on that one, but that's probably because I haven't yet opened it up and put a cartridge inside. It's got the Faber Castell logo on there. It's a nice steel grip on this one here. It's actually quite strong, believe it or not. The Jinhaos obviously are a lot stronger than this one, but this one will fit quite easily over a cotton pocket sleeve, as it were, or in a sort of fountain pen type case. Looks really nice. I like the fact it's got the logo there. It doesn't actually look, you know, sort of around about £1, I would say. It really feels good for around that sort of £7 price bracket there. So we open it up again. It's a click, push, pull. Being very, very careful there. Nice shiny plastic on this one. I probably will say after a number of uses it will start to get bruised, battered and scratched, but that's more to do with how well you and often you use this pen. We unscrew it to reveal the nib, and inside it's just a case, which hopefully, just looking at the size of this, will hold not just the cartridge for the nib itself, but you'll also be able to put a spare cartridge in there as well, so no child will go without ink, so that if they start to run low they can just replace it. But compare that against another budget fountain pen which I have here. This one I got for about £3 in a local stationery shop. Again, you know, just a budget end. But you can hear the rattle inside as I have a spare cartridge in there also. This is just a standard fountain pen. Again, it's got the grip on there, but this is plastic and is not rubber. So after some use you will start to feel a bit of ache in your finger there, and possibly you might get a bleed of ink coming through there. But you know, this has served me well, this budget one here. This one cost me around £3, I think, from WH Smith, but again, you know, uses a standard cartridge, and I've got the option to store a spare in that one here. So that's what I'm expecting from this Faber Castell. So let's put the budget one now to one side. Again, that's got a push-pull effect on that one there. So let's get this inked up. So we just put that down there, and we open up the Faber Castell inks which are inside here. Yeah, so standard size cartridge. You can get these from anywhere. Cost as little as £1, I think, if you get for a pack of 5 or 6 from most stationers. I'm going to get a couple out here because what I intend to do is just try to see whether or not it will store an extra one inside. So I put it in upside down as I would normally expect to do. So in that's gone now, right down to the bottom, and still falls out as it does normally. So now if I just for size going to pop this in here. Yeah, so you should see I've now got the option to have 2 cartridges in there, and it should fit very, very nicely. So to ink this up, we just simply, being very, very careful, pop the cartridge in there and try to feel for the hole. Yep, I can feel the hole, and we give a nice push to hear a click. There's the click, and we just need to top it over onto one side, let gravity take hold. And what I'm going to do is just bring in a piece of paper in case there's any bleed from what I'm about to do. I'm going to give it a slight push. There we go, I heard the air come out. There we go, about 3 of those. I heard the air coming out there. Got the spare cartridge in there still. Yep, so I've pushed through some ink now, I can tell, because I've got a little gap here. So the ink is now feeding through. So I'm going to screw that up. Ooh. Just giving it a twist. Yeah, you don't want to be too heavy when you twist this up. You want to just make it hand tight. Yeah. There's hardly any rattle in there, so you can't tell that there's a second cartridge in there. But this is a pretty beautiful nib, it really is. And I like the fact that it's angled, so it should help children get used to writing a fountain pen. So let's have a look here on the paper. So as I hold this, you can see we've got a slightly angled nib here. And let's see if there is any ink coming through. There isn't at the moment, but there will be shortly. So we might just need to let gravity take hold again, but I'm just going to give this one more squeeze. Another one. Yeah, I can hear air pushing through. And the bubbles are coming back up through the cartridge, so it is working. I've actually pushed about a quarter of ink through from that cartridge, so there should actually be a nice ink flow coming through very shortly. So I'm pushing on the nib right now, and I can see the nib opening up slightly, so we should get some good ink flow when it eventually comes through. I'm just pressing on that nib. Still nothing coming through just yet. But incidentally, if you are going to use a converter, then you should be able to still put the nib into the ink and obviously extract the ink using the converter. And then as it does that, it will put some ink already into the nib there. I'm going to give it one more push. Aha, whoops, there we go. That was a bit too much, if I'm honest. Yeah, there's now quite a bit of ink on that nib, which is waiting to feed back through to the cartridge. I'll just put it up for the moment. There we go. Right, so that took about 4 or 5 pushes to get the flow coming through. So that's there now. So I know there's now ink in that nib. So if I squeeze that on. Oh, actually, I forgot to put the other cartridge in. Excuse me a second. We just pop that in there. Screw it back on. Here we go. Right, so yeah, I've got a nice bit of ink coming through now. So let's take a look at the ink flow. So we'll just do the squiggle test. It's very nice. There is slight scratching and feedback, but I mean, I am actually just letting the nib glide through that paper. I'll press a bit harder now. Yeah, that sounds good. Right, we'll do the quick brown fox test. Okay. So it's taken a while. I've got some letters here that haven't brought through a full flow on that one, but the ink's flowing good. Let's just check the smudge test. Yeah, so where it's a bit wet still, it's a bit on the smudgy side. So let me try and write this nice and straight. There we go. So for a medium-sized nib, it's got good flow here. It feels good to hold, I will say. It's very comfortable. And I'm just holding it without the lid on. So let me just try writing again with the nib. Yeah, and the lid on the casing here. Yeah, so it puts a bit of extra weight and balance on that one now. So let's see how that feels now. Seems okay. I'm going to try and attempt to write properly, slowly, nice, slowly and cursively. Here we go. Very nice. So we just do the stroke test now. Lovely ink flow. You can hear the paper scratching just a little bit, but that might be to do with the quality of the paper I'm using here. Let's do the downstrokes and a side stroke and a backstroke. Yeah, seems okay. Sign my name. Nice. I'm actually now trying to hold it slightly further up the nib, and I've still got a good firm grip on it. Very nice. Very nice indeed. So we've still got the cartridge, spare cartridge inside, a normal cartridge. I've just written half a page there. Let's see how much ink that used. It's probably about a quarter, maybe nearly half a cartridge already used for that one there. Not too bad. So I wonder actually, given the fact that it uses standard cartridges, you know, with the amount of writing that you do with this pen, how much ink you're going to use. But that depends on, you know, the quality of the ink and the cartridge that you use. So popping the lid on, just give it a push. There we go. And now that's properly on. So there we have it. The Faber Castell in red, the School Plus, and you can get it in a variety of colours. Obviously the red here, it comes in blue and black, and is available online for around £7. I think that'd be a very good pen to introduce your children to fountain pen usage. A reminder again that it comes with included 6 cartridges for this one being royal blue, but it will take standard colour cartridges also as well. The Faber Castell Budget School Pen. There you go, very nice. Don't forget to like and subscribe and follow the channel for more fountain pen reviews coming soon and more stationery tips as well. Look out for some videos coming soon where I'm going to be diving a bit further into my collection and yeah, looking at some of the notebooks that I've got lying around, and also yeah, some of the great accessories I've got as well here on the desk, like this new desk mat here, which I bought from the range a few weeks ago. Very, very nice writing pad, this one. There we go. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you again soon in the next video.